the power and mystery behind forensic prophecy is what we're looking at in this video. It's an edition of the prophetic series, and I'm going to be giving you a powerful clue to the prophetic realm, the prophetic faculty, the prophetic office, the prophetic calling, and the operations that come together to mean forensic prophesying, and the uniqueness of engagement in forensic prophecy, and the relevance of forensic prophecy in Bible time and in the contemporary time, and what God intends to achieve in our time as we do forensic prophecy. Don't forget that prophecy is God's own thing, and God's goal among men as we speak is to draw men to Him and to prepare us, particularly as a result, for the rapture. Now let's look at some critical issues here together around the power and the mystery of forensic prophecy. Forensic prophecy, first of all, refers to prophecy done at the most detailed, the most intricate, the most microscopic level. That's to say that this is a kind of prophecy that unravels, uncovers, unveils, masks as much as possible beyond human imagination, hidden depths of issues about people, about things, about places, about God's intention and man's intention, and the future, past, and present. This kind of prophecy is God's own tool for drawing us, or mankind as a whole. That's Jesus, that's the center of Jesus' ministry. So God's sending prophets still today out to do forensic prophecy. And we're going to be talking about the power of forensic prophecy, then the mystery of forensic prophecy. Then I'll do a little touch around the biblical relevance and then the contemporary relevance of forensic prophecy. This is prophecy. This is coming from the mouth of men. So it's not expected to be any more powerful than a man's word can be. But the excellence of forensic prophecy over every other word that comes from the mouth of man is in the divine nature of the utterance. So it's divine utterance. Now, people who are placed by God in a position to dish out forensic prophecy are given to us as territorial commanders. These people are game changers. They shift trend. They shift atmosphere. That we can have the wrong atmosphere over you, over a given nation or people at a particular instance. A prophet who can do forensic prophecy steps into that place and shifts the atmosphere. These are men and women anointed by God to establish divine order. They are principalities of the light. They practically expel, banish territorial powers, to include principalities and dominions and powers belonging to the opposite kingdom. That's the kingdom of darkness from any given region. The power of forensic prophecy comes here. When somebody dishes out forensic prophecy, those words are picked from the throne room of God. That's number one. Let me give you a biblical example. God told Ezekiel, prophesy to the dry bones. Tell them. Can you see? So he said, I prophesied as I was commanded. That's inspired utterance with power. The man was not saying what he felt or had read. He was given the very words to dictate. Number two, when a prophet dish out forensic prophecy, the basic secret of the power, number two, of this prophecy is because this person is giving out an utterance that is coming from a resonance. That's vibration in sync of his heart with God's heart. That's to say that God's heart is vibrating with some rhythm, and then this person's heart eventually vibrates in sync with that. So that God did not particularly speak to this heart, but that there was a synchronized vibration that the men could not hold back. That's what Amos now said, God has spoken, who can but prophesy? The liar, God does nothing, surely the Lord God does nothing except he reveals secret to his servants, the prophets. The lions have roared. Who can but fear? God has spoken, who can but prophesy? Amos chapter 3 from verse 7 now. So you see these secrets. So let's go to the Bible and pick that kind of prophecy. Let's think about Gehazi when he went after Naaman to take those things from Naaman. Now Elisha said, "When on my heart with you? When is it time to receive gifts? Is it time to receive presents and all of that?" And the man of God was annoyed. But deep down within God's own heart, he was not okay with that act of Gehazi. Now, God did not ask Elisha to curse Gehazi, but certainly when Elisha said, "Let the leprosy of Gehazi rest upon you," it was a vibration that synchronized God's heartbeat at that instant, and that was why God endorsed and confirmed. When you hear Isaiah the prophet saying, he confirms the message, the counsel of his messengers, then performs the words of his prophets. The man is talking about when the heart of the prophet synchronizes with his. So I just vibrate what he has in his own heart, vibrating, that he hasn't detailed out in audible words for everyone else to hear. But for the fact that the rhythm of my heart now syncs with his, I can vibrate exactly what his heart is vibrating, and the power now follows. Every vibration in the heart of God comes with power. Now the mystery is what I want to move to, of forensic prophecy. Forensic prophecy, I told you, is a prophecy done at fine detail level, pinpoint level. But how do we achieve this as prophets? I have been there, and I'm still there, so I can tell you what's this. Let me pick, for instance, the prophetic code of distortion. Now, I've had a lot of prophets of the contemporary time, those who are my seniors and those who are my colleagues and those who are teaming prophets, telling me, disclosing or detailing their experience that seems somewhat like the prophetic code of distortion or the prophetic code of the prophetic seed that I discovered. Now, let me use the prophetic code of distortion. Here, somebody is standing in front of me. How on earth could you believe that as you are standing here, even as you are watching me right now, even as I'm sitting here right now, all you can see, naturally speaking, is the shape of my head, my hair, my ears, nose, and everything, and then my shoulder, how the shape goes, and then my a shirt, perhaps a collar, and all of that. My fingers, how they are, and if you can look at the lines in my hand, these are the things you can see physically speaking. Now, you want to say that if we're engaging prophetic codes like prophetic code number 2, where we guess we would have been able to see beyond the natural lines on my hands. That's where you are looking at. But beyond this, when we talk about forensic prophecy, another thing that comes is that in distortion, when I allow somebody to make a movement, their prophetic particulars are dispersed in the air. Just as when you look at fungi through the microscope, you play with the fungi, you see that like dust in the air. Let me say, even here, when we're here, pick your microscope and maybe look through, as you're looking at me now, you see some kind of dust in the air. But physically speaking, maybe with your naked eye, bare eye, there's nothing like any dust in the air. You get what I'm saying? So people's prophetic information is in the air packet around them. Also, like diffusion, in the case of diffusion, concentrated around them, closest, that is the air packet closest to their body, now diffused into the air that is away from their body. So when I'm engaging prophetic codes like prophetic code number 1, I can access your information just because we're in a common room. The odor of your perfume can in fact give me your prophecy because it's coming from your body and it's bearing some prophetic information about it. The odor of your cream, the odor of your hair cream, the odor of your body cream, even beyond that. Can you see that? So by the time you make any movement, like you whine or spin or turn around, you just disturbed the uniformly diffused information around you that has been in the air, and that gives me all access to your prophecy. What I mean by this is that when you disturb particles that are in stable position, what you do is that you are exposing more area, surface area of those particles. You get that? And that makes it easy for somebody to access that particle. Let's say like powder that is in my hand. If I happen to pop powder in my hand right now, it will just be there. But by the time, you kind of disturb it, more will happen. Let me try it out for you. You see, you put this here, and you see that it's just here. Just here. Can you see? But by the time there is a movement, like, can you see? I'm exposing more surface area of this powder. Can you see? So interacting with it becomes easier. This is just exposing it. But by the time another kind of movement happens, can you see? The powder is now becoming dust into the air. Now, if I am prophetically sensitive and you make any movement around me, you have just exposed details about you in the air packet around me. That's a mystery. And it's very easy for me to, with my prophetic sense of sight or ability to hear or ability to perceive or ability to, taste, get your prophecy with ease. And I begin to prophesy with ease. These are things that only prophets who have the consciousness, the understanding of this revelation easily access when they prophesy. And that's why when they prophesy, you look at them, you think they're angels. They're not angels. They are human beings like you. They only understand how these things work. Then you do. And that's their secret. So that's a mystery. Now the relevance. Let's go there. The relevance of a prophetic forensic prophecy in our current contemporary time. That's the third facet of our video here, or section of our video here. Let's look at the relevance of forensic prophecy in Bible time and then contemporary time. Bible time, you see that because of the depth that people like Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel were able to go, their prophecies were easily trackable, and then the manifestations or fulfillment of those prophecies are clear, glaring, and you can dispute them as well. So in the Bible time, they served as roadmaps. They also serve as divine for keeping the people in tune with God. Today's still, when we go forensic to the point where we begin to pick phone numbers, house addresses, people's on this where necessary, is just to give them that mindset that God is actually sovereign and nothing is hidden before Him. And that brings these people to the sense of reverence to God, which is the original goal of every man of God, woman of God, before the prophecy thing comes in. Prophecy to solve problems and meet needs and make people happy is correct, but we want to help their faith come alive. We want to help their relationship with God become firm. We want to have them know that if God can say this through us and it's correct, the second coming of the Lord Jesus is equally correct. So we want to go to such depth that is unearthly when we prophesy. Like the angels of God. Many people have asked me severally when I prophesy, you're a human being. When I lecture in Charlotte School of Seers, they ask me, do you live in a house that is built by men? Because they are shocked at the depth that I go when training prophets. What kind of revelation is this? But all of these things are coming because of a personal relationship with God, which you too can go into. There is power in forensic prophecy because it's an utterance coming from the throne room of God, whether directly or contacted by resonance, gotten from synchronization of our heart with God's heart. Number two, I talked about the mystery of forensic prophecy, the depth to which we go. It will shock you how we go to this depth, and I've just given you just an aspect of what we do there. And then the third facet of this thing is the aspect of the relevance. It makes us to be able to live the church God's way with ease. So today, you want to take your prophetic walk to a deeper depth. You are on the right platform. Sign up with me for a certificate course of forensic prophecy, or for my professional course, the diploma in forensic prophecy, or from a macro forensic prophecy, where I teach you how to do systematic, stepwise meditation standard for prophets. It's not seen across Christian circles. I personally developed this structure. You are able to make global predictions when you take the microforensic prophecy with ease. And then we also have the ultraforensic prophecy, where I concentrate on what it takes to call names and numbers, the algorithm that masterminds that. See you in Charlotte School of Seers. To do that, pick the WhatsApp on the front of you on the screen here, or email us with an email address here, or click the link in the comment section, pinned comment of the Apostle Media Ministries in the comment section, and we'll guide you on how to sign up for the certificate course of forensic prophecy or any of the courses in Charlie's School of Seers. God bless you. May the Lord unlock you to do crazy things in the prophetic.